There we go. Here we go. What was that? Cat. So, Dad, are
Hi
you
there.
ready for the next installation of your dream saga?
Yes, I am. I'm ready to go.
What are you going to tell me today?
Well, let's see. I think I will flip back to the property of Harry's because I don't think that I told you that where we built a house for Chuck, not far from it, I had brought saws for a kind of a sawmill. And so Chuck is taking these trunks of the cedar trees that are good and sawing them into posts.
So, who's Chuck again?
Chuck is the guy who came and worked with the Mexicans and was so good out there. Has a wife named Maria, and they have 3 little girls. He lived in the bunkhouse.
And she's Mexican.
She-
He and his wife and the kids lived in the bunkhouse, and now you're building them a house.
They built them,
Already
their
done.
house is built,
Okay.
okay? The oldest girl, the 3 girl, is like 1st or 2nd grade.
Mhm.
And so she rides the bus to school. And then Maria drives over to the other place,
The mother.
the mother,
Mhm.
and works on the co-op. And then the bus lets the older one off there, and they all come back home together.
How about the 2 little ones?
They stay in what we have over there it's like a kindergarten where they do some studying in the morning, and then they go and play. I've built them playgrounds. I've probably told you this. It has a
Swings and slides.
swing, slides, that's all seesaw stuff. And then they come back and eat. And I think they take a nap somewhere in there. And then they study some more. They go back and play some more. They come back, and I guess they study some more, and the parents pick them up,
So all the people who work on the land in the co-op and all can send their kids there, their little kids.
Yes, they can.
Okay.
And the way the person gets paid for it,
The teacher?
the person who teaches and
Uh-huh.
takes care of them, is they give her an hour or something of their labor. So it turns out she's a member of the co-op too. The rule was all women who lived on the property got 1 share in the
Mhm.
co-op. And I got a share. So anyway, so we'll pick it up from there, I guess. The county, I'm on the what do they call it? County commissioners. I'm now
Mhm.
one of the county commissioners. And the county is going to put in a school for boys. Not really a school, it's like a boys ranch. It's not boys that have done something bad. It's boys whose parents can't take care of them or something. And the county kind of just takes over their care. Then they may go back to their families and the things change, and they just take care of them for them.
I wonder if you invented that in your dream or if that thing really exists.
I have no idea. Anyway, and they want to build it not far from my property. And I've agreed to furnish the vegetables and all, and beef and pork and chickens for that. And I'm gonna clear the land for them to build it on. And it's some distance from my property, but the property in between, they've leased to me for 99 years for $1.
Okay.
With an option to buy or something at the end of that. I don't know what'll happen. I won't be around then. And so we got to get started on that. But let me flip to something else for just a minute. The chickens. We had some Rhode Island Reds. They lay eggs and the people get them. Well, there's a couple of places in town, a bakery and a restaurant, that want to buy eggs from me instead of buying them from the grocery store. So I've started getting more chickens, like thousands of chickens. I don't know how many, but a lot of chickens. And have built another building on, it's across the street from where the people are living. It's over close to where that house that I refurbished for
Hope it's
one.
not too close because chickens are stinky.
No, it's not. And it's, there's an area that's fenced off with chicken wire and all, and made the
So they're free range.
yeah, some of them, not all of them, nearly all of them are free range, but they have a place to go at night to roost.
Got it.
And anyway, I don't think they're gonna make a lot of money off of eggs, but that's okay if they do it. It's gonna be part of the co-op.
Mhm.
Anyway, back to what the county was gonna do with these boys. They wanted to build a facility that would house up to 100 boys.
Wow.
Pardon?
That's a lot of boys.
Well, yeah, but it's for the whole state. It's not just for the county.
Oh, it's for the whole state.
But
Okay.
it's gonna be in this county. But the judge can put kids in here. These aren't bad kids that should go to prison. These are just
Kids who need a home.
kids that will need a home either permanently or temporarily. I don't know. So I've started clearing land for that. And clearing the land between where it's going to be and my property,
Mhm.
because I will get that. And I'm sure a lot of it will go to agriculture. I don't know what'll do with the rest of it. And I'm gonna put in kind of a semi-road to connect the two and put a fence along the Lomita Highway. Oh, yeah, the entrance to it would be on the Lomita Highway, not the old Lomita, but the new Lomita Highway. And there's gonna also have an entrance to my property from the Lomita Highway. Anyway, you gotta put in a road between the two. Had I put in the swimming pool already? Well, if I hadn't,
I don't think so.
I hadn't, okay. I'm also gonna put in a swimming pool. And it turns out, have the two kids I found? in the
Yes,
thing-
yes, you had put in a swimming pool because they were trained in lifeguards, as was one
That's right.
staffer.
Yes,
you had
right.
the swimming
Okay,
pool.
so I have this swimming pool there. And I built a pavilion for dancing, right?
Mhm.
And it's got a floor that can be used for skates.
Ratings. Mhm.
Okay, so all that's together. Now here we go. We're building the boys' place. Now, the only part I'm doing on that is clearing the land.
Okay.
And that gives a lot more cedar posts that get shipped to Chuck over at the other place, and he makes posts out of these things. Anyway, clearing the land. And let's see what else about right there. Oh, along this road, I put in 3 buildings that are connected. They're one right after the other. One is for a bakery,
Okay.
because we have a lot of peaches and apples and pecans. And another one, the center one of the buildings, is for haircuts and women to get their hair fixed. And then the last part is help yourself grocery store, but it only handles things like sugar, flour. It handles, except it does have a big freezer for frozen meats. And it's on the honor system that if you come in and you get something, you either pay the money for it and drop in a thing, or you put a note in there that you owe so much for this. It turns out that all 3 of those turned out to be huge successes. And I have to expand the size of all 3 of them.
Where do men get their hair cut?
They're there.
Oh,
and
so it's men and women.
oh, yeah, it's a men and women's place. Uh, don't want to be prejudiced, though. And had to increase the bakery by a great deal because the co-op tried to see if people in the grocery stores wanted to buy these pies, and they couldn't bake enough of them, and they just love these pies. But the bakery also does custom cakes. I don't think there's a place in Lampasas that you can go have them bake you a cake for a wedding or something, but this bakery can. And so that's
Or birthdays, I guess.
birthdays, whatever, you tell what kind of
Okay.
cake you want.
But, okay. We were in Lampasas this past year. Did they have a bakery that could bake a cake?
Not that I know of.
So you're coming with business opportunities that the city should actually do.
Oh, I guess so. Anyway, so anyway, that's quite big. Now, I think I told you how we travel around this thing. It was in carts, like golf carts, except they may have 3-seaters or something, where you can carry 6, 7, 8 people in them. Okay, so they start doing the construction on the boys' place. And we get a truck pull off into the place. It's got 6 families in this one truck. They're all from Mexico, and they're headed back to Mexico, but wanted to know if they had any work they could do to earn some money before they left. Well, Jackie hires
course.
them, you know, she hires them. They're gathering cow chips to make fertilizer things out of, and they're helping with the growing and
And then the kids can
prepare.
play on the playground.
Oh, yes, and there's 6 families, and there's 8 kids. So there's 20 people in this one truck,
Wow.
and they sleep on the ground and so forth. We didn't want that. So there's 3 duplexes. Yeah, had 3 duplexes that weren't occupied.
Mhm.
Well, now they were occupied. We insisted that they not sleep in the truck, and they had children, and there were 8 children. They take the girls into town. The girls are barefooted, and they buy them sandals, and they get their toes painted, you know. And these girls are so happy and showing those off. Now, they don't speak any English,
Mhm.
so guess where they go? They go to the woman that teaches there on the thing
Uh-huh.
and start learning their ABCs, you know. That worked out pretty good. Anyway, they worked for not long.
What's long?
They worked for a month or less.
Oh, okay.
And then 3 of the families move. And it only leaves,
So they go back to Mexico.
yeah, they're going back to Mexico.
And then the others stay.
The others stay and want to stay and work. And so that's fine. And the others had 4, between them, they had 4 kids, 3 girls. They each had a girl, and one of them had a boy, son. So it works out.
But they're
fine.
illegal immigrants.
Well, you know, at way Texas worked back years and years ago, like when they used to pick cotton by hand and all, they would come, truckloads of these would come
Mhm.
across the border. They would work for a while, and then they would go back to Mexico. And it wasn't an illegal thing at all. I
Like
mean,
it is now.
it wasn't they were coming to stay or anything. They
Mhm.
were just, it was just work for them, and they did the work. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but Jackie liked it, and it was. Did I tell you we had a dance?
Yep.
Okay, and it was a big success. And uh, nobody got drunk or anything. That was just fine. And they donate. There's no fee charged for this, but there's a donation and there's suggested amount on it. Well, that's to pay for the band. Because these are good bands that are coming to,
Mhm.
uh,
But that way, if someone can't afford it, they can still go.
they can still go, yeah. We, it, and there's enough collected to pay the band. It's not the band thing is not a financial burden on us. May burn a little more electricity or something, but it's not
No biggie.
not a big deal at all. Okay, so now then we've got the bakery going, we've got the hair salon or whatever you want to call it for men and women going. And there's so much business, and I've cut a road off of the highway to go into the property here. And we're getting so many chickens and stuff in here that I have to put a lock on the freezer part. Now, somebody go next door to the people doing the salon and they got a key or something, they come get them, but it keeps them from just running off with, oh yeah. And there's a dairy not far from this place. And the guy at the dairy comes and puts in fresh milk there. There's a refrigerator thing. So you could pick up your milk there too. And he comes, I think, every day or every other day.
Mhm.
It's good fresh milk. I've been over to see what they're doing with the boys' place. And what it is, there's 4 houses on the road coming into the place that will hold, they're 3-bedroom houses, 2 on each side of the road. And then you come to like the main building, and it's 2-story in most of it. And it has on the end of it, not 2-story, but at the end of it are 2 houses that are 2 bedrooms. I guess it takes a lot of people to take care of this thing, but I guess with 100 kids.
Yeah.
And then behind and that's that upstairs in this building is rooms, and that's for parents who want to come see their children. They can come.
Mhm.
I don't know how they do it as far as making reservations or whatever, but they can come there and visit with their children. Then behind that building, there's a laundry. What else? I've forgotten, but there's 2 or 3 functional things behind that building. And then there's a large field past that for them to play soccer or something on. And on each side of the field, there's going to be, they weren't finished, I was working on them when I saw it, 2 barracks.
Mhm.
Oh, I know what's behind the building. There's a large cafeteria and place to cook, because that's where they eat. Well, each one of these buildings will hold 24 kids. They're 2-story, 12 on each floor, and a bathroom on each floor. And there's 2 on one side of the field and 2 on the other side of the field. And they do something so that when new kids come in, they're put in a barracks that have people that's already there. They aren't just stuck there by themselves. I think it worked out really quite well. When they had their cafeteria, or what do you call it, lunchroom going, they invited Jackie and I over, and we ate dinner over there one evening, and that was kind of nice. Let's see now. I've got those Mexican kids, Mexican people that came and stayed. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now I've got these boys, and they come and decided to make the skating rink bigger because there's a lot of them wanted to skate. and they don't have skates. So I bought a lot of skates, and they rent the skates very cheap, you know. I don't remember 10 or 15 cents, but something. And we increasing the size of the pavilion because it was crowded before whenever we had a dance. I expect it's even going to be more crowded next time. And I think they're going to let the senior high and junior high kids come to the dance. Now, let's see. I guess the next big thing. Oh, I remembered some of the names.
Of whom?
Well, I remember John's wife's name, my
So
brother.
John is your brother in real life
Yep.
and your brother in the dream.
That is correct. And it was Gail was his wife's name.
In reality, his wife's name had been Cindy before they divorced.
Yes.
So that's
right.
interesting.
Yeah. And the name of the the name of the girl that and the boys that we found up there, his name is David, goes by Dave. And her name is hang on a minute, it'll come to me. Connie.
I think you remember all these people in the dream more, their names better than you do.
Well, I tell
Like
you,
my friends growing up or something.
I tell you why I can remember these names is because I had told this story to my wife and she had written it down, some of it, and she had the names there. So that's and there's
That's pretty cool that you can tell your wife the story
oh yeah
of your wife.
yeah. So right now I know of 5 kids who are going to be seniors, and one's son, I don't know what he's going to do. John's son wants to be a paramedic, and I'm not even sure what a paramedic does, but his sister's studying to be a doctor, so I assume it was something related in there to it. The Joe, the boy who stole the corn and ended up
Coming to live with his mother and siblings.
yes, and his mother married one of the cowhands. That's what he wants. He doesn't want to go to college. He wants to become a cowhand. That's okay. The girl that we found, she wants to go study either economics or something and come back and work here on the property, you know, helping with the actually she's doing that now at the bakery.
Helping keep the finances.
Yeah,
there.
keep the finances, schedule stuff on. So she's getting some practice. David or Dave.
The boy that was found with her.
Yes. He lives in the at the, what am I trying to say? Where the Cowboys live.
Yeah.
Bunkhouse behind my house.
Did his father or mother ever come looking for him?
No. But he lives in that bunkhouse. And Daisy, you know who Daisy is? I think I told.
Daisy?
Yeah, Daisy's my cook.
Oh, okay. In your house.
In my house. She's cook, keeps up to the house. Her husband name's Will. He keeps up with the grounds and stuff. Anyway, she feeds him and so forth. He didn't have anybody to help pay his way to college.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Daisy approached me and said she wanted to help him go to college. She really likes him. He's been real nice to her and so forth. And she said she and her husband were able to save so much money because all their vegetables are free and most of their meat is free and the place where they live is free. So they don't have a lot of expenses. And so she wants to help him.
And they don't have any children.
They don't have any children. And Dave wants to go study law. So he can help people like himself legally. And I thought that was pretty good. I like that. Okay. And you know, I'm now tearing down the swimming pool, making it bigger. And again, we're doing the same thing with the dirt that's coming out of it. We're mixing cow manure in with it to try to make a
New place to grow vegetables.
right to go this thing to grow
It's
vegetables.
fertilized well.
Chuck, who's over at Harry's, who's been cut, he's been bringing us post, and he brings us a small post, small in size. It's not the regular size. It's like a piece he has left over, and if it's 2 inches by 2 inches, he can cut that, and it makes a post because they want to put up put those in and hang wire off of them and grow tomatoes or pole beans or something on them. So he's been doing a bunch of those, plus making posts out of the stuff we did for the boys' place.
Yeah, cut down a lot of cedar for that.
Right. And there's people that's coming to him with cedar that want him to cut them for them. And he approached me and he thought he should get some of that money. And I said, hey, Chuck, you're working for me. You're making more than anybody else. You're getting paid by me when you're cutting these things. It's my sawmill and all, and you think you should get the money from it? And he agreed. He gets paid enough, so that took care of that. Well, now I got approached by the county. They want to put in a girls' place.
Here, lean up a little bit because that light's flashing over there again.
Okay. They want to put in a place for girls
Mhm.
like that for boys. But they don't think it'll be as many, maybe just 50 girls at the most. And they want to put it in on the old Lomita Highway up from my property. And I really wasn't in favor of this, but when they offered me a lot of land, I could hardly turn it down. So again, we go up and start, they've bought the land and all, and go up and start clearing off the cedars and all. And they want a road that runs from it down to my property where the things are, that don't have to get up on the highway. Well, that's fine. Tend to do that anyway. And I don't know how it's built. It has bunkhouses, or dormitories or some, but it's not like the boys. The boys are just kind of slung all in there together. The girls have like a room with rooms off of it and the private bath and so forth. Theirs are just different. I haven't seen them. But anyway, they want a road down to it. Well, that's okay, because I didn't want them getting on the highway anyway. And they can get there and by getting one of these golf carts. They're not golf carts, but they're electric cars like that. And they want it lit, lights. Well, I think that's a pretty good idea. So I have a drill that will drill the hole real easy. And I have these lift buckets to take people up to connect it. So I tell them if they will supply the material and we tie into their electric instead of my electric, that I'll put them in. And so they're doing that. And so we're building this road right next to the fence that runs along there. It didn't interfere with any of the fruit trees or anything that was there. And it's going to have these poles that are lit on it. And so they've done that, and there's already girls living there. That also got some more land over behind the pig pens. I did have my pig pens up against the cedars, but now I've got more land in behind them, so I'm probably gonna move the pig pens.
Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna have a dream where I move the pig pens.
Well, I just know it's gonna happen because it's the. So anyway, then there was, I guess it's time that my most recent dream. I guess it's time to say
And when
it
did that happen?
this afternoon.
You're taking a nap?
Taking
So
a
this
nap?
is your new dream.
Yes. And it's not a good one.
Probably the first one that isn't a good one.
Let's see. No, I think it's probably been others, but this is,
The most recent.
yeah, this is. Anyway, there's a girl that had moved in down there, and I don't know, she's 13 or 14.
And the girls
in the
that
girls
the
thing,
that the state put in.
right. She's I think 13 or 14, 8th or 9th grade, somewhere in there. She's pregnant.
Mm.
She didn't know she was pregnant until recently, and they didn't know she was pregnant. So now what do they do with her? They can't go back to her home. Well, there's a couple that the guy works for me, and they have either a two or three bedroom house there. They said they would be happy to take her until the baby was born. At least until the baby was born. Well, that's fine. And then Martha, my daughter.
Who's this? Is that the one who's a school teacher?
Yes, she's a school teacher. She says she will work with her teacher to get the material and get it taught to her so she won't fall behind in her classes and miss a year of school.
Mhm.
And I thought that was pretty good. I don't know how the girl got pregnant. I don't know anything about that. Well, I know how she got pregnant, but I don't know by whom. And so that may work out, but I don't like that kind of news and things happening. But that's life. Things happen, you know. I guess that kind of brings us up to date. I've got boys coming from the boys' place skating. So it's a good thing I made the skating rinks a lot bigger. Making a swimming pool bigger, you know.
And you have tennis courts, soccer
Oh,
field.
yeah, I'm sorry. The girls, another thing they wanted, and I agreed to it to get more land, was they wanted me to put in a girls' softball field and a soccer field. And so I did, but not next to the girls' things. It's more in the direction of the boys' thing. It's past my 3 stores I have there.
Mhm.
So, and that's got to be, grass has to be sodded and all this stuff. It's not a little simple thing. And fortunately, I have mowers and all, so it's not much added there. And nobody's playing on these ready yet, but anyway, they're being put in. I think that's about it. I don't know what we're going to do about those Mexican girls and that one boy about getting them shoes so they can put on skates. You can't do it barefooted or in sandals. And you wouldn't want to buy them skates because they'd outgrow them.
Are they the skates you put over a shoe or you wear it like a boot?
No, you put over a shoe.
Got it.
So, and they're adjustable, so
Mhm.
they'll fit quite a bit. Let's see. I think that's
Yeah.
about it.
Well, let's see what you dream tonight, Dad.
I bet you I don't dream anything, but I'd like to, if it's good. Okay,
Okay.
good night.
Good night.